And a good afternoon to you, Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you on a Tuesday. We're still in the middle of our heat wave, aren't we? And we're not done just yet. Going into tomorrow, the heat will still be with us, and I suspect even into Thursday, we're still going to have some of that hot weather lingering around. After that, we're getting rid of it for a while and turning toward a wet weather pattern. First time in a long time, but it does seem like some rain is getting more likely by the end of the week. Let's take a look at where we are right now. These are your high temperatures. Sorry, these are current temperatures right now at 6:30. We're still, even at 6 o'clock, still in the low to mid 90s, depending on where you are. 95 in Raleigh, 95 in Yanceyville. Oof, settle down. It's 90 in Greensboro right now. We're coming off of a high temperature that did get up to 92, just like yesterday did. So if you look at the stats for the day, we had a morning low of 66, which is pretty darn warm. 92 for the high. That's 13 degrees above average. The average high, well, that's 79. So we're getting closer to 80 for the averages. We are expecting 92 for the high. That's where we were this afternoon. Didn't get a record. The record high was 96. It'll continue to be 96. And going through the rest of our evening, we're going to cool off very, very slowly, very slowly. So we're going to have a mild night, a warm night of weather, just like we did last night. Temperatures basically hanging in the 80s for a little while. Even after midnight, we'll still be around 70 degrees, and overnight lows are basically only going to be in the 60s. So you can expect it to feel very warm for a long time. And something you might have noticed last night, we were telling you to go check it out. It was Moon and Venus right next to one another. Tonight, it'll be similar, just a little bit different. This evening, you've got the crescent moon right about here, Venus just below, Jupiter just above up here. So kind of in a connect the dots pattern, basically. This is going to be in your western sky, and it is going to be right after sunset. So I'd start looking probably by around 9 o'clock or so for tonight. Now, going into tomorrow, it's going to be just as hot as today was, just as hot as yesterday was. Another time in the low 90s to mid 90s for tomorrow afternoon. So no changes. Tomorrow is exactly the same. What's different, though, is we're going to start to watch for the possibility and the likelihood, really, of checking out a cold front. And this cold front is going to make some progress over the next couple of days. That's where we find ourselves by Thursday. To run it back to the beginning here, this is where we are now. Hot weather still in place, the heat going to linger through tomorrow, and yeah, no relief. But by Thursday, that cold front, it's slower than we thought, so it'll take a little while to get here. But once it does, that cold front is going to knock back your temperature by the afternoon. So it'll get pretty hot through midday, but then we'll slam on the brakes. That cooler air will get in here. And when it does, you're going to see that temperature fall very, very quickly. So to zoom in a little bit more for you tomorrow, still suffering through the heat. I'm not expecting any storms. At one point it looked possible. Now it really doesn't. But let me show you Thursday. The morning could get quite warm quite quickly. This would be right there by about 1 to 2 o'clock. But that's when we start to see some showers or thunderstorms popping up. So by the early part of the afternoon on Thursday, that's our first chance of rain for the week. And some of these could actually pack a bit of a punch with some decent downpour rain. And then we go into the evening hours. This kind of front is moving farther south. So you see the lines on the screen? Those are the winds. When they shift around to the north, you're going to get that cold wind in here. And I expect us to only be in the 50s and 60s by Thursday evening. And that chill will stick around. So on Friday, we're still seeing some on and off rainfall with cloud cover. And notice how chilly it is. We're only in the 50s there, and that's kind of where we could stay throughout much of the day on Friday. It's looking cloudy and cool and damp. As we go into the weekend, there are a lot of question marks still on how much rain we would see. Friday into Saturday, on and off rainfall. Saturday into Sunday, on and off rainfall. But the way I think this is probably best to explain, don't think washouts, don't think constant, think occasional, think hit or miss. That's kind of the way this is going to be. Very similar to in the summertime when we deal with these pop-up thunderstorms day after day. Sometimes you get hit, sometimes you don't. And that's just the way that we see it as we go into Memorial Day. Now, that doesn't help you all that much for planning your outdoor activities. I know, and that's a little frustrating, right? What we are going to expect is cooler weather overall for Memorial Day weekend, wetter weather overall for Memorial Day weekend, but it will not be raining all of the time. I think Saturday, Sunday, and Monday each have a good chance of having some on and off rainfall, but there will be dry spells as well. One thing to kind of keep in mind that'll help you out a little bit, make sure to have the rain gear close at hand and fire up that News 2 interactive radar or whatever one you prefer. Because as you do that, you're going to be able to kind of see where the storms and showers are moving around and popping up throughout the afternoons, and you can kind of adjust as needed. But you will need to be flexible. I can't guarantee it's going to be good pool weather. It does not look the best for that. Now, over the next 5 days, through about next Tuesday or so, could we get decent rainfall? Yeah, you can see the range of possibilities from less than an inch to 2 inches. Don't take these at face value, but there is potential for some decent rain through the middle of next week. In fact, basically every day from Thursday all the way through the end of next week, every day has a rain chance. Doesn't mean you'll get it every day, but there's at least going to be scattered rain in our area for the first time in a while. And so I think that's something that we can celebrate, and hopefully we can cash in on, because boy, do we need it. It is getting crispy out there. And in the meantime, while I still have you, we do continue to have an extreme fire risk for tomorrow, and it'll still be high on Thursday until that cooler air gets here and our cold front arrives. So that's kind of where we stand now. That's your holiday weekend forecast. We'll continue to keep you updated day by day as we get a little bit closer and try and narrow down those drier windows so you can get outside as you want to. That's your forecast. Now stick around. Coming up, we're going to have an interview with someone on the ground from Hurricane Helene with the Department of Transportation, what they did to prepare, what they're doing to recover from the system. That's coming up in just about 2 minutes.